guys, welcome back to another episode of A Shot at Bliss. This is Yari.
And I'm Mely, and today's topic is about loving all of you. And it's specifically through all your weight gains and your weight loss.
We feel like, we don't just feel, but there's so many things that you could learn to love about yourself. And of course, it's a journey. But today we're going to be talking specifically about our weight gain and weight loss journey. And I guess where we're at right now, right? In terms of how confident we are and how happy we are with where we're at in the moment with our size, I guess.
Yeah, and I think in regards to this topic, we both feel like differently about it, right? But we've gone through similar experiences. So when we're talking about, the specific moments that came with weight gain, where, the first time that you discover that you're no longer a small or a medium and you have to go up a size, the first time that you had to start buying a size bigger. And for me, it was a few sizes bigger too, at a certain time. Yeah. And those moments, they can be a little bit difficult for us.
Yeah, especially, I feel like I'm sure it could be difficult for men too, right? But we're talking from a woman's perspective, of course. And we feel like, especially with social media now, and you see, everyone in the fitness on, their fitness journey. Sometimes it can get overwhelming when you're not at your desired weight, where you want to be. So there's just so many ups and downs, and just so many feelings that come with when you're not where you want to be.
Yeah, when you're not where you want to be, when you're not at your desired weight, or even realizing that you're probably not going to be there for a while, For me, it's like, okay, if I was to go on a diet right now, or if I was to work on my weight, it would still take me a while to get to the desired weight that I wanted. So in the process of this, instead of, trying to think about constantly, I don't know how you say it, like constantly worrying about what weight I am instead of the weight that I would want to be, I chose to see or change my perspective into being more of, I'm okay with where I'm at right now, and if I want to change it, I need to work at it.
Yeah. And basically our entire episode will be about that, about how to be okay with where we're at, and how to learn to love yourself in every stage of your life. But in this case specifically, with your weight gain or weight loss. And I know there's women that have like problem gaining weight, and they're constantly worried about how they just want to bulk up, and they want to eat certain foods that will help them gain weight. And to me, I've always been so mind blown, because to me it's not like it's always been a problem, but trying to gain weight has never been a problem for me, because I've always, even when I was younger, it was really easy for me to just not work out anymore and eat, all kinds of food. And then I would just, gain 5 pounds just like that. But just like that, I would be able to lose them too. And see,
you're one of the lucky ones.
Oh, I have such a fast metabolism. But it's not the same anymore. Now that I'm older, going on 3 kids now, oh man, I can tell the difference in my body. So it was quite a journey for me. My weight gain, weight loss journey has been a roller coaster, definitely. But yeah, so we'll get into that. In this episode.
For me, I don't think it's been more just consistently going up in weight.
Oh, okay.
Not really ups and downs. Not really. It's just been pretty consistently going up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so then I guess you guys will be getting two different perspectives today. And that's the beauty of this podcast, right?
Yeah. So I guess I want to say my journey on this, my weight gain journey, because like I said, I haven't really had much of the loss part. So yeah, my weight gain, I kind of, in the beginning, I didn't even notice it. And I was being told, mainly by like my parents, I was being told that I was gaining weight and to be careful and to, it's hard to lose weight once you already gained it. And that was constantly being told to me, but I just didn't see it. I was still fitting into like most of my clothes that I had already. And I don't know if it's because I was the size that I had in the clothes that I had, but it was more of like the clothes that I had owned for a while now, and they're probably stretched out. And they probably fit me better. Yeah, but I don't think I was really believing it until I realized that I needed to start buying new clothes in like a bigger size. And it kept happening where certain brands will have different sizes as well. And so I was still in denial, where I would be like, oh yeah, it's a brand. Oh yeah, it's this kind of store.
Yeah.
And then it just kept going like that. And then all of a sudden my whole closet is now a different size than the size that I would be buying back in like high school.
Did you ever stop to think like, oh, I'm just getting older and my body's changing. I'm not getting bigger. I'm just, getting older. And maybe it comes with age where, you're...
Well, I had heard that like your metabolism changes, right? When you get older. I had heard that your metabolism changes, but I never thought that I was getting older because I was still young. I was like in my early 20s.
Like compared to, 16, 17-year-old you, right?
I think in the beginning I was gaining weight, but not as fast as I did like in my later 20s or mid 20s. Yeah.
Right.
And then I did go through a time when I started working out and I tried to lose weight. And it took a lot of effort. It was a lot of working out consistently. I didn't really notice when I was losing the weight. I didn't even notice it. So it wasn't even as like motivation to me because I didn't even notice it. And just as I don't notice weight loss, I also don't notice weight gain.
I wonder what it is.
Well, we see ourselves like every single day.
I don't know. I feel like it's so hard for me to catch myself too.
Yeah.
But there are people that really do, catch themselves, and or they don't allow themselves to just get past I don't know if it's a certain weight, or maybe it is a weight, huh? I don't know. I've learned, I've heard a lot of different methods, but weight is just a number, and just because you're a certain, weight in number doesn't mean that, you're bigger or smaller, because it can be, muscle versus fat.
I know, and there's so many different things like that come into account into what your weight is.
Yeah, so it's always been hard for me to determine too, when I'm gaining the weight.
Yeah.
Because I just always feel good. But yeah, so.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, like I said, I lost weight, but I didn't even notice it, and then I was consistently gaining weight. And the only time I would notice was really when I had to go buy new clothes, and I would notice that I had to go up a size, or the clothes just fit a lot better if they were higher, like an upper and size bigger.
Yeah.
But what about your journey?
Oh, my journey. I feel like it's been such a roller coaster. I wanted of myself as, always being pretty fit, just because I played sports all the time. So I didn't really have to worry about my weight, because I just naturally just would shed, and sweat while playing sports. Throughout high school. I did, grow up with a mom who was always very, she was always very...
weight conscious?
Yeah, weight conscious. And so she would work out a lot. She would try to eat healthy. So I grew up seeing that. But it didn't never apply to me, right? Because I was young until college. Well, I got pregnant at 20. So I had my daughter. And I think after I had my daughter, I started feeling like, like I was bigger. Like I wasn't the same I wasn't the same person. I mean, of course, I think it came with a lot of other things, you know, derived from, you know, all the changes that my body was going through. It wasn't just specifically weight, but I remember just, you know, feeling so big. But then again, I mean, I had just had a baby, you know? So the weight that I was putting on was, you know, my pregnancy weight. And I can honestly admit now that, you know, although I've always loved being pregnant, I really enjoy it. And as much as I loved being pregnant, now I can say that I guess I didn't really enjoy it at that time the way I should have, or the way I do now, just because I was younger and I was just really worried about my weight.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I realized, like when I started showing, I realized that like my jeans would no longer fit, you know, through my thighs. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm just getting big, right? And I didn't understand what was happening. So that was the first time, you know, that I struggled with it. And after I had her, you know, I got back to it. I got a trainer. I lost all my baby weight, and I went down to a size 2 again. Yeah, so
With the dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, so
You're like, I'm talking lower so the dogs don't hear me. I don't know what they're growling at.
Should we wait till I finish?
I think they're growling because they can hear us.
No, they can't hear us.
They're dogs, so they have like super high, like, what is it called? Sensitive hearing? I don't know what it's called. Oh no, they didn't hear me because
They're not barking
they're
anymore.
not barking anymore. Okay, I think you're good.
Yeah, so and you know what, even then, even when I was losing weight, I didn't notice it at all. I felt the same. And I never noticed it until, you know, my friends started telling me, and my family, wow, you know, like you look really thin. And I'm like, really? Oh my God. Like I didn't feel it. Then I had my son about 1.5 years after, and I bounced back pretty well, just because, you know, I had started off pretty small or thin to begin with. But it wasn't until like a year, I would say 1.5 years after I had my son, that I started gaining weight, and I didn't realize it. My lifestyle, of course, changed also. I had less time for myself. I was a stay-at-home mom, so I feel like I just kind of picked up just different habits, you know. I didn't really have much, my priorities shifted a lot. So that had a lot to do with it. But yeah, I never noticed when I gained weight until 3 years after, I would say. And I think my parents started telling me first, hey, you know, like, what are you doing? Like, are you hitting the gym? Why are you not hitting the gym? And I'm like, well, I don't got time. You know, that was always my response. And yeah, but then I started also noticing that I wouldn't fit into my jeans anymore. And you know, the way I would see it was I just wouldn't buy new jeans. I wasn't going to spend money on new jeans because I was going to get back to my normal weight. Like I always did, right? Like that was my mentality. I'm not going to say I never had to work hard for it, but you know, it was never a problem to get back to my weight. So I just never thought it would become a problem, you know, until I noticed that when I started listening to my parents, and when I started noticing that I had gained weight, I was like, okay, I need to get back to it. You know, so I started eating healthier. I started doing, you know, little workouts here and there, but that did not make a difference. And it's crazy because it would always make a difference, right? I could do one or the other and it would make a difference. And now it was like I was doing nothing and I didn't see a difference. And it was like Mely said, you know, like I was just lack of motivation because I couldn't see a difference. And then that's when I started realizing, holy moly, what did I do? Like I let myself go. I didn't even realize it. And now how the heck am I going to get back?
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, it's been ever since then, I feel like I haven't lost it. So I kind of like shifted my mentality, in instead of thinking like, you know, I need to, you know, be this size again. I need to, fit into the size again in order to be good and feel good. I started, you know, thinking more like, you know, I need to learn how to be happy with where I'm at the moment, you know. Why? Because my life, you know, shifted also. I have the babies and I have my husband and my priorities are different. I started working again. So, you know, I was just thinking I have a lot on my plate. So instead of worrying about making fitness my priority, I need to worry about, you know, being okay with where I'm at right now, because it's just, you know, that's where I'm at right now. That's the life I'm living. And that's that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then again, you feel like this is temporary because, at the moment you're not able to prioritize fitness, but you're thinking ahead where at some point I will get back to a weight that I want, and I will work for it when I have the time, right?
Right. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I feel like we do confuse, learning how to be happy with, you know, a certain aspect of yourself, with just getting comfortable, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, people that don't know your plans, like my parents, for example, they would think like you're just getting comfortable. Like you really need to start, you know, like taking care of yourself, right? And I'm like, well, I am, but in a different way, you know, but they don't know that, you know, well, they found out after I told them, but they still, you know, people, you know, will say a lot, will have an opinion, but they don't really know what you're doing, you know, they don't really know how your life is on a daily basis or what your thoughts are, or what your goals are. So yeah, it was, you know, it was hard hearing that from my parents, because, you know, they got me thinking like, oh man, I'm just getting comfortable, or, you know, they would make me doubt myself, when in reality, I was just trying to change my mentality on a certain, you know, in this case, you know, I was trying to change my mentality to,
to be okay with, your weight,
with weight gain. Yeah.
At the time, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what was I talking about?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I know you mentioned, like, that you're okay. You're mentioning that you're okay with your weight, right? Basically, you got to a point that you were okay with your weight, and I feel like I'm not there yet. In a way, I am, but in a way, I'm not.
Like you're beginning to accept it.
Yeah, I'm beginning to accept it, as in like my weight's gonna be here and it's gonna stay.
For now.
Yeah, for now at least. But I was still in denial, like this year, where I'd be like, oh yeah, in the beginning of the year, I started buying clothes in like a size that I knew would fit me, but just a little tight, where I'd be like, oh, by the end of the summer, I'll be able to fit into it. Or I keep clothes because I'm like, oh, they're so nice, but I know they don't fit me right.
But they will eventually.
Yeah, they will by the end of the fall now.
Yeah, because I have like this workout plan, like all like planned out, right? I have.
Yeah, and I seriously, I don't even have that. And I still thought I was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's kind of like you're in denial, but I try to see it in a perspective of I'm okay with my weight, but I want to change it.
Yeah.
But I'm not even doing anything for it.
Yeah. And you know what? That's when I realized, like, I remember I was talking to my friend one time, and this was our conversation all the time, because I know that she, you know, we would talk about it all the time, because she's similar to us, you know, had this going through this journey or whatever. Every time we would talk about that. Oh, I need to work out again.
Yeah.
I need to start eating healthy. I need to do this. I need to do that. And then one day I realized I don't need to do any of that. Do I want to start? You know, there's a big difference between needing and wanting. And for the longest time I said, I need to. But I didn't really want to. Because if I had wanted to, I would have started, you know, I would have made a change already. So when you feel like you need to do something, I just feel like it doesn't come as natural as to when you wake up and you're like, you know what? I want to start doing this now for myself. And I feel like there's so much power in wanting to start doing something, because it just happens, you know? So when I realized that, for the longest time, I was saying I needed to, I was like, you know, it's just not my time, because I don't want to, you know, as much as I should, I don't want to, because I have other priorities right now. And even though, you know, fitness should always be a priority, you know, taking care of yourself, I'm not saying it shouldn't, but reality is that not everyone is always there, you know, not everyone is always
motivated and ready to prioritize
or
it.
at that point in their life where they're ready to do something about it. So, you know, same with me. For the longest time I was like, and even now actually, I was just like, I'm not doing anything about it, even though I, you know, would catch myself complaining about it at times. I just didn't do anything about it. And I feel like that's when I realized I need to really change this, you know, my mentality about it. Because if I'm not doing anything about it, then I'm complaining, I'm just unhappy.
Then you're not okay with it.
Then I'm not okay with it, you know? So,
and then when you're not okay with it, well, at least for me, like I start to subconsciously, I guess, I start blocking myself from doing certain things. Like I stop taking pictures, or I stop posting pictures because I just don't like the way I look, you know. I'm not used to it because I'm just not used to it. You know? I'm not used to this weight, or I'm not used to looking this way, and I have constantly been told like, oh yeah, you're gaining weight, and to me, I was told that if you gain weight, you didn't look good. So I would just not post pictures. But I think when it starts affecting you in that way, where the weight gain or weight loss starts affecting you in a way that it stops you from doing certain things, I think that's so wrong. We should be, I mean, it takes work, but we should all be okay with the weight that we're at, or any moment in time that you're at, and still do all the things you want to do, and not let that stop you.
I think that's so important, instead of just like torturing yourself in thinking I don't look like this and I should look like this and I need to start, you know, doing something about it. I mean, there's no reason to torture yourself like that, because at the end of the day, it's just going to make you even more unhappy. You know, and you're right. I even think that I stopped thinking that I would even look good in certain clothes just because, you know, like I was the bigger size. When in reality, it's not true. Like, it's not true. You can find clothes that are your size that will look good. And you'll feel great and so confident.
It's just going through that process of finding what fits you now and what looks best on you now.
And like, well, of course, and that comes after the, you know, like learning how to live with the denial phase. Because when you're in denial, like Mely or like I was at some point, you keep clothes in your closet that don't fit you, and you don't even dare to try on clothes that are, you know, size bigger, because then you realize like, holy moly, I really am this size. And how am I still fitting into these sizes that are like 2 sizes smaller than this one?
And it's only because you've kept them for so long that
and they're
so
like stretched out. So once you pass that denial phase, I dare, you know, like if you guys are feeling this way, I challenge you guys to go out and try on a piece of clothing that you may think will fit you now, like whether it's jeans or a dress that's in your size now, and see how good you'll feel. Because it's also, I guess, a way of putting yourself down when you know that nothing in your closet fits you. It's like a constant reminder of like your weight gain, you know, and a constant reminder of, you know,
you just have a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't even fit you. It just does not make you feel good.
It makes you feel worse, right? That doesn't help the situation at all. So
and then it takes a little bit of like talking yourself through it being like, oh, you know, if I try this on in a bigger size, let me see how it looks, and like, oh, you know what, it looks good. Like I could still wear this kind of outfit, or I still could. It's just a little bit of like convincing yourself
that, you know, that your new size is okay.
That you're okay. You're okay at the weight you're at right now.
Oh, you know what helped me a lot when I was, like the first time around after I had my daughter, what I started doing was I started following a lot of like fitness gurus And I already did, but this time around I started following the ones that already had babies. Yeah, so that helped me. It reminded myself that it reminded me that that it's so possible to get back to where you were after a baby, you know. And I think the problem was that before I started following all these, you know, fitness guru mommies, I was following other, you know, women that, you know, had never had kids before, and that I can no longer relate to them, you know. And I would compare myself to them, to their lifestyle, which was so totally different from mine, you know. It just no relation whatsoever anymore. So it really helped me to, you know, start following people that, you know, had more of my lifestyle, that were going through or had been through my journey. And that was a big one for me. So yeah, I mean, if you're still following people that you find yourself comparing to, I mean, do these people have similar lifestyles as you? Have these people had children or have a family? If you know you do, and you're comparing yourself to a single person, you know, with no children whatsoever, like it's I feel like
lifestyle.
And it's really hard to try to live up to those, to what is it, like those expectations, and follow that journey when you're not in that journey, when it has nothing to do with you anymore. So that helped me a lot. And also, well, I don't know, should I just say also and then go into something else, or do you want to add on that one? Because it's going to be all over.
No, because for me, it wasn't, I never really follow people on Instagram.
Okay.
Like I said, I never really worked towards my weight.
Yeah, so I guess holding ourselves accountable for how we feel and our life and our habits, right? Because I feel like habits have so much to do with, you know, your weight gain or weight loss journey. But I remember telling my husband a lot, I would ask him like, oh, how does this look on me? And he'd be like, he would never say anything negative. Yeah, so at some point I tried blaming my own husband for my weight gain, because I would feel like he wouldn't motivate me, just because he was always so nice about how I looked. And you know, he never, to this day, he tells me, babe, like, I don't notice the difference. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah,
and again, because if you don't notice it, how is he supposed to notice it? Because again, you guys both see each other every single day.
Or you know what? I don't even know, guys. I need you guys to be honest with me, because is it that he's just, you know, like, he's just sweet and he doesn't want to tell me, or you know, he just, or even if he does notice, he it's not a problem for him. Even though us women think because it's a problem for us, it's a problem for him. But, you know, it might really not even be a problem for him. So instead of saying, yeah, I notice it, he'll just be like, I really don't. Like his I don't notice it is really his I don't care. You know, like, I don't care. Like, you look good to me, like, you know. Yeah, so, you know, I would try blaming him. I blamed him for a while, to be honest, and be like, man, well, like, he doesn't like help me. He doesn't motivate me. Why doesn't he tell me I look bigger so I can get on it, you know? But no, he just wouldn't. So, you know, I learned that I shouldn't obviously blame him. Yeah. And it's not like I literally blamed him, right? It was more like me mentally trying to like convince myself that, you know, it was
trying to get him to tell you that.
Yeah, and trying to convince myself that it wasn't just my fault, you know, it was my husband's fault too. But no, you know, like, that was crazy thinking. So, you know, definitely holding yourself accountable, and, you know, just acknowledging the fact that, like, okay, you're not where you were before, and that's okay, you know. But, you know, if it's a problem, then we need to fix it. And how do we fix it? I'm a strong believer that you need to learn to be happy in every stage before you try to fix something that you don't even know why you're fixing it. Are you fixing it because, I don't know, like, is it just that you want to be, or you want to look the way you looked when you were 17? Because that's impossible. Yeah. You're not 17, you're 27. And that's a big difference, you know? So, you know, like, it's always about being a better version of yourself, you know, like, don't compare yourself to, you know, your younger self. And
I think to me the biggest thing with the weight gain was the fact that I was stopping myself from doing certain things because of it. Yeah, I couldn't believe it because it's not right. You should still, and again, it's on me because I wasn't okay with my weight. But you shouldn't let that stop you from doing things in your life, in any stages of your life.
Yeah. And because it's only a phase, you know, like you're not going to be there forever. And you just gotta like grow. It's part of growth. It's part of learning how to be okay and how to be happy with yourself and changing it up if you don't like it. But again, it's just a phase. You know, you go through different phases in your life, and just because you're, you know, you feel like you're overweight or you are overweight now, doesn't mean you're gonna be like that for the rest of your life. No, it's just everyone goes through phases.
You can change it. You can change it, and it's gonna take work.
Right.
I feel like even at when I was 17 years old and I was skinnier, or I was like at my ideal weight, I still felt like I wasn't at my ideal weight. I still felt like I couldn't wear certain clothing because, you know, I had a little bit of a belly or something that didn't make me confident enough to wear it. And now I'm like, oh, I wish I would have worn it because that was like okay, you know, it was my weight was okay.
Yeah.
So it's like either way for me, I seem like anytime whether I'm on the thinner side or the thicker side, I'm always, you know, not gonna, or I haven't been okay with the weight, and I haven't been okay to be able to do anything that I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's something that's really deep, you know, because not a lot of, I mean, a lot of people don't admit that, you know, that they're never really content when they look back on it. And it's just, I feel like I keep repeating myself and saying you need to be happy in every stage, right?
Yeah.
But,
finding your inner confidence.
Yeah, and like when is enough, right?
And that's another thing that you have to work through yourself and find out what is enough for you. Will anything ever be enough for you? And are you okay with that, or do you want to change your mentality towards certain like weight challenges or that you may come across?
Yeah. So I mean, it's just identifying your motive, right? Like why is it that you want to gain weight? I mean, lose weight, right? Or gain weight, yeah. Why is it that we want to do that, right? Because even when we were at the ideal weight, you know, like Mely said, she wasn't she wasn't confident. You know, she wasn't content with where she was at until she looks back on it. So it's, you know, identifying our motive as to why you want to gain or lose weight, and the reason behind it. And I feel like that will eventually get you to your happiness.
Yeah.
Maybe your happiness isn't even because of your weight gain or your weight loss.
Yeah.
No, it's due to something different. So yeah, man.
And if it is, then you should really try to change it so that, you know, you can be happy.
Yeah.
You're truly happy.
Yeah.
Even at your weight. But then I was gonna say also, oh dang it, I forgot.
I feel like I keep repeating myself.
I remember. I was gonna say, you also have to remember like the saying, right? The grass is always greener on the other side. Like you never know how you're gonna feel once you get to the ideal weight that you want to get, or not even, maybe you don't even get to the ideal weight, maybe just losing weight, you don't know how you're gonna feel. Like, are you still gonna feel the same way? Or, you know, someone in that position of the ideal weight that you want may be feeling like, you know what, they don't want to be there either. You never know, like, it's just,
yeah. Or you know what, now that I'm thinking back on it, the only reason why I noticed that I had lost weight the first time around was because other people kept telling me, oh, you lost a lot of weight, oh, you look good, right? So why is it that I only started feeling good until other people told me I looked good?
oh yeah.
You know, was it even that I liked that ideal? Now that I look back, my husband swears I looked sick. And I'm just like, what? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So do I even like being that way? Or is it just the standards that I'm holding myself up to just because other people, that's how they knew me. That's how, you know, that's how they...
Everyone expects you to be.
Exactly. So, you know, again, identifying the reason why you want to, you know, lose the weight or gain the weight.
And it shouldn't be for other people. It should be for you.
For yourself. Yes. Yeah, that's fine.
I myself haven't found the motivation. As you can tell, I'm still kind of in denial because I still have a lot of clothes in my previous sizes. And I think it takes you finding your motivation and your complete focus on losing the weight if that's really what you want.
Yeah, so again, it's super important to find your inner confidence.
For the third time, yeah.
It's just, I can't, I don't know.
You can't stress the importance of it.
Maybe because I battled with it, you know, with finding my inner confidence.
And how you said you were able to find it.
Yeah, and it didn't take me losing the weight and going back to, you know, my previous sizes in order to, you know, to be okay and happy with where I'm at right now. So it's just, you know, everyone has a different journey. Everyone feels, you know, whatever they feel at whatever moment they feel it.
What?
No, so everyone has a different journey, but you know, it's just, it's so important to I know, I'm trying to literally read it off, but then I try to look away, and then when I say something,
and you go back to find your inner confidence.
Okay.
If any of you guys feel the way we have felt through our weight gain journey, weight loss and weight gain for you, but weight gain for me,
Definitely for me too.
If you have felt any of these, or if you're still doing what I'm doing, which is keeping clothes that don't fit you, it's finding your way out of it, finding your way to be okay with your weight, finding your inner confidence to be able to be happy where you're at, and also accepting all of you for the way you are.
Yeah.
And now if you want to make a change and you want to change the weight that you're at, then it takes you putting in the effort and setting up a schedule. For me would be schedule. And it's setting up all of the aspects, which is food, exercise, and all that stuff, and probably doing more research on it as well, to be able to keep yourself motivated and keep doing it. But if you're but you still need to be okay with your weight now, to make sure that it doesn't stop you from living your life, from doing anything that you want to do. Yeah. Because you're in the moment, and today is going to be gone tomorrow, and you need to do today whatever you want to do, and not letting your weight affect that.
Yeah, and how, you know, finding your inner confidence and feeling happy with yourself doesn't only apply with weight. I mean, it applies to every aspect of your life. Learning how to be content in every aspect of your life every single day, because like Mely said, you know, tomorrow's another day, and oftentimes we regret the way we acted the previous day, and sometimes it has a lot to do with how you're feeling because of your weight, or because of, you know, whatever
aspect in your life that's stopping you from anything. Yeah,
and you know, life has so many, you know, ups and downs. You have you go through so many different things in your life, so just learning to adjust to it and finding that, you know, that happiness through it all can literally change your life, and your perspective on your life, to just help you, you know, just live a little bit happier every day. So, I mean, I hope that you guys could relate to our episode, and if you do, let us know how, you know,
what stage do you think you were in,
or how you've dealt with it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there's ways that we didn't mention that you guys have dealt with, you know, your own
tips that you can give us on, you know, how to find your inner confidence in your weight, in your current weight. In your current weight.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. So this is it for today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. I feel like we got a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Which we definitely...
You guys now know what's in my closet.
Yeah. So we hope to...
I think it's just...
leave that,
yeah. Alright guys, we'll catch you on the next one.
Bliss out, guys.
Bliss out. Oh, and we also wanted to mention, we changed the camera view. So if you like this camera view better than like the previous episode, let us know. So we can continue doing it.
Yeah. All right,
we've
guys.
been playing around with it. Okay, see you guys next time.
Bye.